Did you know that 60 feet beneath the Shwedagon Pagoda lies a secret underground chamber guarded by ancient, deadly spinning blades? What kind of danger awaits those who try to enter? From heroes born of divine water to the long-lost mysteries of Shwedagon, Evening Chronicles is about to uncover it all right now. Hello everyone. Welcome to Evening Chronicles, your dedicated channel for thrilling, mysterious, and captivating stories. To make sure you never miss out on our latest intriguing videos, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Today, we are going to unfold the fascinating history and the deep, dark secrets of Myanmar's most sacred monument, the Great Shwedagon Pagoda. Let the story begin. Long, long ago, at the very edge of the great Himalayan mountain range, lived a colossal mythical eagle. One day, this giant eagle hunted down a massive golden goose. However, as it flew over a certain hill, the eagle could no longer carry its heavy prey and dropped the golden goose onto the ground below. The eagle swooped down to pick it up again, but a mysterious force prevented it from lifting the goose. Defeated, the eagle simply ate its prey right there, leaving only the bones behind before flying away. Because it was the hill where the great eagle failed to lift its prey, it was initially called the hill the eagle could not lift. As time passed, the name evolved into Singuttara Hill. By the time Gautama Buddha reached enlightenment, Singuttara Hill had become a prominent area in the Romania kingdom. On this hill lived a holy hermit. One day, while returning from seeking alms in a small boat, the hermit stumbled upon a miraculously giant letmu bud, a mangrove flower bud, by the riverbank. Astonished, he brought it back to his monastery. When the time was right, the giant bud blossomed on its own, and from within it emerged a breathtakingly beautiful baby girl. The hermit named her My Lamu and raised her with boundless love, treating her as his own daughter. When My Lamu turned 16, her beauty was absolutely unrivaled in the region. One day, Thagayaman, the king of Devas, descended to the human realm to pay respects to the hermit. The moment his eyes met My Lamu, a massive wave of love overwhelmed his heart. Thagayaman immediately asked the hermit for her hand in marriage. The hermit replied, "I will only give her to you if you come with a full, grand procession of heavenly beings to propose." Thagayaman agreed, promising, "Very well. 7 days from now, I shall return with a celestial entourage to marry My Lamu." He then returned to the Tavatimsa heaven. However, upon reaching heaven, his 4 queens, Sujata, Sadhama, Sunanda, and Susita, found out about his promise. "This cannot happen. We must stop our Lord Thagayaman from marrying a human," they conspired. The queens used all their celestial charms and illusions to distract Thagayaman, drowning him in heavenly pleasures. Lost in luxury, Thagayaman completely forgot about My Lamu. Down in the human realm, 7 days passed, but Thagayaman did not appear. Poor My Lamu was devastated. The promised day has passed. My lord Thagayaman hasn't returned. He has broken his vow, she thought, weeping bitterly in sheer heartbreak. Seeing My Lamu drowning in sorrow, the hermit wrote a letter, tied it to the neck of his loyal messenger, a magical parrot, and sent it to heaven. The parrot flew all the way to the celestial realm and delivered the letter. Reading it, Thagayaman finally remembered his promise and felt deeply guilty. He gave the parrot a vial of divine water and said, "O loyal bird, take this divine water for My Lamu to drink before I descend to the human realm." As the parrot flew back down, the 4 jealous queens transformed themselves into fierce kites and attacked the little parrot, trying to make it drop the water. As the chase continued, another drop fell onto a leaf in the Himalayan forest. A female elephant consumed it and gave birth to the legendary Chidanta Elephant King. Still relentlessly pursued by the eagles, a 3rd drop fell into the ocean. A crocodile swallowed it, giving birth to a terrifying and powerful crocodile named Namo Yeek. Finally, overcoming all life-threatening obstacles, the brave parrot reached My Lamu. The talking bird explained everything and offered her the divine water. My Lamu drank it and miraculously conceived. In due time, she gave birth to a glorious son, who would later grow up to become the great King Akalapa. During King Akalapa's reign, the deer-headed hero, Mingala, came to serve him. The king granted him the forest where his dear mother used to roam. That area became known as Mingaladan, a name still used today. Similarly, the giant crocodile Na Moyik served the king and was granted a creek, which is still known as Na Moyik Creek. Meanwhile, far away, two merchant brothers named Tapussa and Balika docked their grand ship at the Asatna port. With 500 ox carts loaded with goods, they began their journey to trade. On their way, a tree guardian spirit, who had been their relative in a past life, stopped their carts near a large tree. The spirit revealed itself and said, "O Tapussa and Balika, do not just seek worldly wealth. Go seek spiritual merit. The newly enlightened Gautama Buddha is currently resting near the Bodhi tree. Go, pay your respects, and offer him food." Following the spirit's guidance, the merchant brothers found the Buddha and joyfully offered him honey cakes. Because the Buddha had not eaten any food for 49 days since his enlightenment, Tapussa and Balika became the very first people to offer him a meal. After the offering, the brothers respectfully asked, "O Blessed One, please grant us something we can worship in your stead." The Buddha bestowed upon them the twofold refuge, Buddham Saranam Gakami, Dhammam Saranam Gakami, and then stroked his own head with his right hand, giving them 8 sacred strands of his hair. The Buddha then prophesied, "O merchants, in the Ramanya kingdom lies a place called Singuttara Hill. There, the relics of the 3 previous Buddhas, Kakusanda's staff, Kanagamana's water filter, and Kasapa's bathing robe, are enshrined. You must enshrine my hair relics on that very same hill." Overjoyed, Tapussa and Balika placed the 8 sacred hairs in a golden casket, gave away their remaining goods, and set sail back to Myanmar. As they navigated the perilous seas and reached Cape Negrais, divine rays of light emitted from the hair relics. The Naga king, Zayathena, saw the light and personally emerged with his 4 military battalions to pay homage. He built a magnificent jeweled pavilion at the port to allow the public to worship the relics. However, when Tapussa and Balika finally arrived at King Akalapa's port, they were heartbroken. Along the treacherous journey, they had somehow lost 4 of the 8 sacred hairs. Weeping, they reported this to the king. King Akalapa, fearless and full of faith, made a solemn vow, "If the Buddha's prophecy is true and we are truly meant to worship these relics, let all 8 sacred hairs be restored to their original state." He opened the golden casket. Miraculously, all 8 sacred hairs were sitting inside, perfectly complete and glowing with divine light. But there was a problem. When the king asked his ministers where Singuttara Hill was, no one knew. They sounded the gongs across the kingdom, searching for anyone who could point the way, but they found no one. Left with no choice, King Akalapa prayed to his celestial father, Thagayaman, for help. Thagayaman immediately descended from heaven on his 3-headed elephant, Erawan, accompanied by a host of celestial beings. King Akalapa pleaded, "Father Thagayaman, please show us the Singuttara Hill where the relics of the 3 ancient Buddhas are kept." Thagayaman replied, "My son, even I was not present during the eras of the ancient Buddhas. But I will summon the 5 immortal earth spirits who have lived since the beginning of the world." The place where Thagayaman, King Akalapa, and the 5 ancient spirits gathered was named Suwekon, the Gathering Hill, which is known today as Sul Pagoda. 2 of the ancient spirits, the Sul spirit and the Mabai spirit, pointed the way. They revealed that Kakusanda Buddha's staff was buried under a giant canine tree on Singuttara Hill. The other spirits confirmed that the relics of the remaining 2 Buddhas were also buried near that exact same tree. Gods and humans joyfully marched to the location. After clearing the thick, overgrown jungle, they found a bizarre sight, 3 separate hills standing closely together, shaped like a cooking tripod. Right in the center stood the massive canine tree. They cut down the great tree and leveled the 3 hills into one flat surface. Because the 3 hills were leveled, the area was called Tikon, leveled hill. However, leveling the hills took a massive toll. The workers began to vomit blood and collapse from exhaustion. Seeing this, Thagayaman magically created a pond at the base of the hill, mixing it with divine celestial medicine. Once the workers drank and washed their faces with it, they were instantly cured. That pond is known to this day as the Thwe Se Ken, Blood Wash Pond. Right in the center of the hill, the Gaiaman constructed a massive relic chamber, 44 cubits deep and 44 cubits wide. The chamber was walled with precious stones, sapphire on the west, ruby on the east, and floored with solid silver. Inside the chamber, they built a golden ship. The sacred hair relics were placed inside a ruby casket and positioned as if they were sailing on the golden ship. They also crafted life-sized golden statues of Brahma, the Gaiaman, his queens, King Akalapa, and the merchant brothers, positioning them in an eternal posture of worship, holding golden and diamond flowers. Finally, the Gaiaman, King Akalapa, and Queen Savannah lit 4 massive candles inside the chamber, making a sacred vow, may these flames never extinguish as long as the world exists. Legend says these candles are still burning deep underground to this day. Over time, the name Tikon evolved into Dagon. And thus, the glorious Shwedagon Pagoda was firmly established upon Singuttara Hill. Centuries passed. Due to political unrest and wars in the Romanya kingdom, the religion faded slightly, and the great pagoda was neglected, swallowed by thick forests. Years later, 2 holy monks, Sona and Uthara, rediscovered the pagoda and cleared the woods, offering gold and silver flowers. Later, powerful kings like Kyansatha and Alangsathu of the Bagan Empire marched down with massive armies just to pay homage to the great stupa. Around the year 734 of the Burmese calendar, King Binyayu began major renovations. Later, the great Queen Shin Sa Pu famously donated her exact body weight in pure gold, having it beaten into gold leaf to cover the entire pagoda. After her reign, King Dhamazadi of Bago took over the preservation. He collected 100,000 vis of bronze from the citizens and ordered his minister to cast a colossal bell named Pawigazaya. As the bell was being cast, a brave royal astrologer named Loka Nayan stepped forward and warned, "Your Majesty, the bell will be visually flawless, but because you are casting it during the crocodile constellation, it will never produce a sound." The king declared, "If you are right, I will reward you. If you are wrong, you will be punished." When the bell was finished and struck, it made absolutely no sound, just as the astrologer predicted. Impressed, King Dhamazadi rewarded Loka Nayan heavily and promoted him to chief priest. The king then placed the bell on a golden barge and floated it down the river from Bago to Dagon in a grand royal procession. After a 3-day festival, the great bell was hoisted onto the Shwedagon Pagoda platform. But tragedy struck in 1608. A Portuguese mercenary named Felipe de Brito, known locally as Na Zinca, stole the great Dhamazadi bell. He planned to melt it down to make cannons to fight the Burmese king. He dragged the bell onto a ship and sailed down the river. But miraculously, as they reached the river mouth, the ship capsized, and the priceless Dhamazadi bell sank deep into the dark waters, never to be seen again. Another legendary bell is the Singu Min bell. In 1776, King Singu cast a massive bronze bell weighing over 15,000 vis and donated it to the Shwedagon Pagoda. Just like Na Zinca, the British Army later tried to steal the Singu Min bell. While loading it onto their ship, it fell into the Yangon River. The British tried everything to retrieve it using modern engineering, but completely failed and eventually gave up. Witnessing this, the local Burmese people used bamboo rafts and traditional methods to miraculously salvage the bell themselves, returning it to the pagoda platform. The history of Shwedagon is also tied to 5 other significant pagodas. 1. Chusan Da, Twant, where the merchant brothers temporarily rested with the hair relics. 2. Badatong Pagoda, Shabon Point, where King Akalapa first opened the casket to worship the relics. 3. Sul Pagoda, where the spirits gathered to point out the location of Singuttara Hill. 4. Tandamu Pagoda, where the royal procession rested because the followers were exhausted. 5. Nongdagi Pagoda, where the hair relics were temporarily placed for public worship before the final enshrinement. Throughout history, Shwedagon has survived natural disasters. Around 1768, a massive earthquake brought down the entire top half of the pagoda. King Singuttara of Inwa meticulously repaired it and raised a magnificent new golden umbrella, HTI. Decades later, in 1871, King Mindon sent a brand new golden umbrella from Mandalay to the British-occupied Lower Myanmar, successfully hoisting it in a grand ceremony. But earthquakes weren't the only threat. On March 6, 1931, a devastating fire broke out near the western stairway. The flames quickly spread, engulfing 20 prayer halls and destroying countless priceless ancient wooden carvings. Panicked pilgrims fled in terror. The authorities dispatched military troops, who split into two groups and risked their lives to successfully extinguish the inferno. Beyond religion, Shwedagon has been the beating heart of Myanmar's politics. Its middle terrace has hosted countless historical mass meetings. It was right here, on January 20, 1946, that General Aung San delivered his historic speech to over 100,000 people, demanding independence for the nation. Surrounding the Shwedagon Pagoda are many unique Buddha statues. But one in the Sunday planetary corner stands out, the Shin Asa Gana Buddha. Shin Asa Gana was a monk and an alchemist during the Bagan era. He spent his life trying to create a magical philosopher's stone. But he failed repeatedly. The angry king punished him by gouging out both of his eyes. Blind and depressed, Shin Asa Gana ordered a young novice monk to throw his failed magic stone into a latrine pit. But the moment the stone hit the pit, blinding rays of magical light shot out of the darkness. Realizing the stone had finally activated, the overjoyed monk told the novice to fish it out immediately and run to the market to buy any two eyes he could find. The boy rushed back with one eye from a bull and one eye from a goat. The monk shoved the animal eyes into his empty sockets and invoked the stone's magic. Instantly, his vision was restored. But now, he had one bull eye and one goat eye. In Pali, Asa means goat and Gana means bull. Equipped with supreme magical powers, Shin Asa Gana became a legend who could grant immense wealth to anyone. To this day, people flock to the Shin Asa Gana statue at Shwedagon, praying and counting their meditation beads in hopes of gaining his mystical blessings for prosperity. But perhaps the most terrifying and alluring mystery of Shwedagon is the Sandaw Twin, the hair relic well. It is believed that the well drops 60 feet deep, leading straight to the original underground relic chamber built by Thagayaman. The entrance to this well is supposedly located in the Sunday Corners Prayer Hall, though legends say there are hidden entrances in the middle terraces as well. Why hasn't anyone gone down to see the golden ship and the burning candles? Because, according to ancient lore, the tunnel is guarded by Daset Hlanset, ancient, mechanically or magically spinning swords and spears that will instantly kill anyone who tries to enter. No one knows for sure what kind of deadly traps truly await in the dark depths below. But the mystery of the hair relic well continues to captivate the imagination of everyone who visits. As the old saying goes, the dawn of religion in Myanmar began at Shwedagon. With its unshakable history and supreme glory, the great Shwedagon Pagoda continues to host its grand annual festival every full moon day of Tabang, glowing brightly over the nation. And that brings us to the end of today's journey. We hope you enjoyed this deep dive into the hidden history, the legends, and the unsolved mysteries of the glorious Shwedagon Pagoda, brought to you by Evening Chronicles. If you love spine-chilling myths, historical mysteries, and captivating folklore, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful evening.